we have many different levels, and we have many different components. And no, I'm not naked, I'm just comfortable at home. If you don't like it, then just listen to the sound of my voice and turn your eyes away. Basically, emotions are the main subject of the truth that I'm going to expound here. Why don't you give the introductory statement, or, a question that we have of the emotion?
When we look at emotion, it's a conversation again by you saying when certain emotions come up that are in a negative context.
That's all. You have to look outside of yourself and see emotions from one other person or various other people around you, and then take a survey of that, observations, and compare it to recognize what is emotion. And then the second issue is going to be discern or cast a spectrum from negative to positive side. Negative being the emotion, enjoying the quality of being, and positive would be the ones that see it carefully. The quality, just making life better. But that we may determine that something is that also is not our only emotion. You should just go to what ends or underneath the emotion. If you just explain that you are different varieties, then the positive, and then if you can finally come to some emotion, what I don't know if the audio is going to minutes and 20 seconds. Just see for another minute or later. The machine to this level process the emotions, process them out. This whole thing about what's underneath is basically ending thought process underneath it. So we have one example. You want to say real quickly what that was? Reacting.
Right, okay, so you had a reaction to the computer acting up. So I kind of made a little bit of a joke, it being serious. What's the underlying emotion?
That I was having. So you're putting me to the test about
Who's the test?
whether, I have emotions or whether I have them under control. Okay. So, when you watch a lot of my videos, you can see that I get animated and my voice changes tone, and I seem to put out some characteristic emotional, flavor to it.
And you can pick it out. Oh, here's a video where he seems happy. It seems upbeat, or, he had something good going on. And then you'll hear another video, and it might sound depressed. Or then you'll hear a video that, I'm obviously angry about something that happened to me or something that I heard in the news. That's very typical for hundreds of my videos, maybe thousands. So, you gotta understand, when I do my videos, it's like actor at work. I'm a method actor. I put myself inside of the character, or whatever the subject is on it, and I stay in the character. Appleseed is like this epic that I'm in. That's what method acting is, right? You live as that, but positioning as a artisan so that you can relate. And that is that useful, people? In a way, it's not best, I don't know, it's, kind of like ancient weeks. Wishing I have you, but I'm not doing it constantly. I'm just doing it. I feel like I'm doing it a lot. That's the way to get to the audience, for them to relate, because they have those emotions. No. When you're around people in your circles that you work in or live around, I don't know anybody. Do you react with emotion around those around you? Or the second thing I want to say is you're reminding me of the ability of meditation, in which we're actually able to get in the tires for anti-aging. Yeah. Meditation is a great thing. Is a great practice, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because I wasn't even thinking about it, because for me, it just goes without saying that I was in the back of my mind thinking it comes, more stronger sometimes. But the true purpose of meditation, in the initial phase, in the beginner's work of meditation, is to get rid of the emotion. This is a meditation, I think, loud. Well, all I'm saying are different, because higher or refined, they're more you know what they are, and you can just stay with what is. His emotion seems to well up from within. The thought seems to be different. Into emotion is like wild beast. Emotions can take over you, just mind. But a thought is like where you can compare fact with opinion. People take it, like fancy. That's what fits up you, because how'd you come to, form that opinion and stick with that opinion? Like, did you research facts about it? Usually it's not that way, so you have these two opposing forces, so fact and opinion is just maybe another level of, like,
slicing it, like the way we express ourselves, but it's a parallel with saying there's emotion and there's thought, because thinking things through has a lot to do with facts. You're just taking these things that are like defined, like it's much more specific things that you're fitting together precisely, and that's that whole realm of thinking. But with emotions, there's a lot less types of emotion. It's probably they can be broken down to like a dozen. I don't right now. I'm working on a diagram of the human emotional body, and there is there's just huge wise kind of approach to life. So like if a person's ruled by the angry emotion, they confront anything that's going on, no matter what the specific facts are to that instance. They're just facing it with anger because they're angry about anything.
You just made me realize what an equation we're working with. We're working with thought, action, and emotion. And it's almost like a chemical reactions going off between all three, because there's the action in what we do, the thought, and then the emotion that wells up inside.
You bring up a really good point, but actually I didn't say anything about it yet, just to clarify. I haven't touched on physical action. The reason why I emphasize that action is physical, you should never remove physical as an adjective or as a explainer of action. It's physical action that is the result of emotion or thinking things through and having a plan. And then, like when I'm a carpenter, the thing that I love to contemplate, just the zen of it, just the simplified beauty, is that
we're at 58 seconds.
you
Start part 2.
measure the said fact ideals to position the craft to go to war, to discuss things, take time to go through all the facts, and make with solutions. A lot of times physical acts ahead because power creates a lot of emotion because it takes over the individual is being able to think about. It's just like this emotion powerful about another form. But it's a power emotion because they have to express their power to everything. But thinking process to any, so when I get involved with this, I'm just gonna roll my tent, blow the bring my tent, just like emotional expression. That's what so emotion cannot rule over being because it just leads to just foolish physical actions or harmful physical actions. And things,
it's just gonna generate karma.
You're actually now reminding me of a situation that I was in once where there was a thought that came to my mind. It welled up an emotion within me where I thought tears might be present. So I excused myself from a public place that was outdoor in nature and walked myself down to where the river water was and stood in the river alone and felt for the first time that instead of welling up with the tears, I allowed the water, I opened my being, myself, and allowed the water to take it through me. Let it go with the water. And there was an amazing experience I'll never forget, is feeling that in the water, and feeling the water washing me instead of the crying, and feeling it well up inside and come up and out through the throat. Instead, it passed through me as if I was just a light being. I can't say I've always tapped into that meditation.
No, I can say that you don't. But what you did was, it's like plugging into the environment, to the nature. It's almost like the reason why they came up with baptism a long time ago. The reason why they call trial by fire is also that. Fire, by the way, is a lot about anger, a lot about just sudden release of energy and action, and hotness and burning.
People connecting with the elements is basically what you're talking about. And water is a primal element. So, you can read in, and is congruent of emotion. And it's water. Nice, it's safer, it's more primal, you know.
Again, I'm filled with water anyhow. I don't wanna actually have sense and practice in here that I'm of emotion. I wanna make sure that this is clear by repetition that emotions are the enemy of your development. Spirituality, true spirit, where the spirit is seeking truth, has to involve the technique of
Detaching from the emotions. Because if the emotions are always clinging to you, if you don't get away from these, separate them, then they are going to have this undue influence. They're going to be influencing everything that you do. And it clouds up things. It muddies up your idea or your experience of whatever you're going through. And you want it to be more clear so that you can think clearly. Thinking is clarification into the specifics. Emotion is just clear about one glaring point that it's trying to make. But that doesn't really solve anything. That's just a starting point. So emotion should come out as they flare out, and then right away you take control of them and convert it into actually clarity. And usually, the for thinking process, it needs to be the emotions all in you of the energy of itself. It's very blind into the recommendation that I'm giving you. It's important to how I convince myself, because
need to watch my video and practice what I preach. I know the time I'm not perfect. I'm like everybody else. I'm constantly falling, and I'm aware of it, and I'm always saying that. I'm a great teacher, but not as great of a learner and a listener, and I know that, but see, being that I am a great teacher, like I really do this for people, and then as I'm, applying that teaching to myself, I realize, like, I could be better at that. I could actually be doing that when I don't, but I do know how to tell other people to do it because I know the things that are important. I do as many things as I possibly can. I mean, it could be like 100 things that I'm working on to make myself better, to perfection, and really becoming a symbol of truth, because that's all I want. But at the same time, there's all these things, and I'm sure that many people are just going to focus on that, because they don't want the teaching. They have their own problems with listening, but I know that a lot of people can hear, and it's good for me, to be honest. People want that, and I've always been that way. Maybe I'll go on a long streak where, I'm just, you think that I assume I'm perfect, and I'm so arrogant. Yeah, it's really, I do a really good act, because that gets people really pissed. But I don't know. I could do that after I've already made my statement. That I can't be perfect, but I will act like I'm perfect. Maybe I should just start on that so I can be like a big ruler teacher. And if you can go ahead and apply this to your real life, where you're going to
Recognize when you have emotions, and you will take a pause and remove that emotion out of the way. You'll disengage, separate from it, and then discover what's the thought beneath there, issue, like articulate, and then say, what is the question that needs to be solved? What is it?
Just what you said and what you did time just God shows me.
Yes, I do a lot of that because I'm Italian, and I speak.
I want to ask
It's very emotional, actually.
you. Really basic here.
And I was gonna get basic after you say this.
Okay, but can you take that breath? How the breath looks.
Oh, okay. It's a mastery technique. Basically, you take release motion. You like blowing it out. That's chi. Chi means energy, or you could say prana. And you go. to force it out like you mean it. Like you really intend to get rid of it. I'm just going to do this real quick. And then you want to take in 3 inhalations that are filling yourself with clean, pure energy. It's replacing that so that you can get new energy in you and use that for the thought process. Okay? So I'm going to leave on this note. I'm going to explain how the emotions are very basic and that, it's not really solving anything. It's like dumbing us down. And what it does is takes us on a roller coaster ride. And what I think I really need to do here is so that you can't continue to fool yourself that the positive emotions are good. Because whenever you have a positive emotion, it's like getting high. It's going to drop you back down to the equivalent low. Like if this is the middle, okay, if you raised up, say, 4 points in happiness, then after you can't sustain that, because there's no way, you're going to drop down to the middle, and then you're going to go 4 points, or 4 levels lower. So, and this, even though I'll give you a little cappuccino or whatever at an emotional level, it will also crash out. So you'll notice that whether it's whatever, it's, no, I said the sad too many things here because we're already, it's a huge, but I'm talking the dependencies to, it comes from that to like an emotional dependency, and then they want to say, oh, there's a physical, see, all this is and it causes a physical dependency because the chemistry, biochemistry of the body, and they find it later. The fact is that when you use a substance, it links in with the connected emotion that it's working with. Okay? So that little demon comes in and it's like doing its little dance inside of you with the emotion of, happiness, excitedness, and you think you're getting a boost from it. But then it's like, guess what? You start to crash down. And then you need to have another cigarette break. And once you have that cigarette break, it's because you're craving it. And you're craving it because you've crashed down. You're actually in a totally depressive state. And you need that boost again to get your emotions up. Because it's like, that's what's controlling emotions, is very base-faced thinking. See, if you keep everything at a think level and with logic, and you're keeping everything constant and stable. That's the really important thing, folks. Thanks for listening. And this is how you can reach enlightenment. Practice these things, communicate with me, and join the Kaiboa. The Kaiboa is the way to go. What does that mean? But that's like another one of the Spanish expressions. Now we didn't get into the fact that emotions are kind of non-verbal, although words like fucking and damn and those things carry emotion, but they're really non-verbal communications, which there's only 2 groups that I know of, well, other than telepathy, but that we haven't really developed. There's the emotion and there's
body movement. When you're doing body movement and hand signs and gestures, they call them, gesturing, this is nonverbal communication. And it's also the way we hold ourselves. It's our posture. Like when a girl starts playing with her hair and she's looking at something, you know that she likes it, she's getting excited, and she wants more. So that's her signal. 9 times out of 10, that's what that means. And 9 times out of 10, women do that. Women that shave their head as some kind of political statement, emotional statement, or for whatever reason they think, and they cannot play with their hair anymore. I don't know what other ways they can communicate that they're attracted to something or they're getting excited. I don't know. They can't really, pick on the stubble. They really can't, like, when they see a guy they like start picking on stubble. That would be kind of strange, nonverbal, wouldn't it? Anyhow, thanks for listening. I could go on forever, but that'll be another video.
Now you make me look at me.
How long is that file?
3 9 on the clip, so that means you have
Wow, so you're gonna get